Good afternoon. Okay, because I know this is probably going to be a long video, let me just go ahead and jump right on in.
Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Hello, everyone. So, this Katt Williams interview with Shannon Sharp, did you tune in? Because I called everybody I knew. I called my daddy, I called my mama, I called my brothers, I called some cousins, I called some friends. I was like, did you watch it? Did you watch it? Did you see it? Did you watch it? Have you seen it? Oh my goodness. You know, the best part about this entire interview, the best part that I don't see many talking about, we have never seen a Black man with this level of influence holding Black men in entertainment accountable. That was the best part. We have never in the history of entertainment, Black entertainment, have we ever seen a man with this much influence within the Black community hold Black men accountable? I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Have you seen it? I have never seen it. I mean, he called every last one of them out. Every last one of them. And he didn't have not one person coming out and backing him. He stood alone. He stood alone. And you know, when those who stand alone, they tend to be truth tellers. They tend to be truth tellers. See, everybody else got to hide behind somebody, or everybody else got to have their followers or their fan base standing with them. This man decided to stand alone and speak his truth. So let's get into that. He had a lot to say. Let's get into that. And it's interesting because this man, he's been talking about how he hasn't been on drugs this entire time. So I'm going to play a video because I do find it interesting how the media paints certain entertainers crazy when they start speaking out more freely. So I'm just going to play that again because I really thought, I'm not going to hold you, I really thought this man was out here on drugs, and come to find out he was never on drugs. So let me play this video that went viral 5 years ago. 5 years ago. And his story has not shifted. It has not changed. And he admits his faults. So let's talk about that.
The reason I don't do cocaine, Big Tigger, is because I had a tumor in my upper jaw and they had to take it out. And they had to block the whole right of my sinus with a piece of metal. So ever since I got out the Marine Corps, I can only breathe out of one nostril, boy. I get my blood tested every 3 months for the last 15 years. All narcotic tests have come up 0.00%. I'm 44 years old, little Tigger. You look up my rap sheet. I have never had a DUI or a possession of anything, not even the marijuana I do every day. See, when you real, you can tell the truth about anything or anybody. It was the last day of Black History Month. I begged that man not to call me the N-word. He said, this is what you don't understand. I want you to hit me, Because I'm sending you to jail. N-word. And I did what a black man should do. I defended myself and my race. And then I laid down and waited for the honorable police so they could deal with criminals, rapists, and robbers like their job is, and not have to rough up an innocent comedian who was attacked by an employee of a store and he had only worked there 5 days. But they'll take the word of any white man. As long as he's bigger and stronger than the black guy, then fine. But if you disrespect my race, you get it. Other black people can't do it. They got jobs. They got people they got to answer to. I answer to no one but God. If you are not Jehovah or Allah, I do not recognize your authority. I am of this world, but I am no part of this world. And now, Big Tigger, if you lie on me again, because I was there with the Lady of Rage, so if you lie on me again, you can't use the name Tigger no more. Because Tigger is a bouncing tiger. And if you want to be a bouncing tiger, you just heard from Bouncer. Now I'm getting on my private jet. And I'm going to court, motherfucker. But when I come back, I'm coming right back to the A. Katt Williams out. King of comedy. See, I seen your stuff on social media, boy. I know what you do. But you do it for play. If you do it for real, here it is, Kevin. I got a show at your hometown in Philly. I'm going to take my special there. On that stage, we can put whatever you want. A full court basketball court, a boxing ring, 2 microphones for a rap cipher, or you can get your ass dusted in comedy on that stage. But it's $1 million up for each one. That's $5 million, Mr. 28 million in Forbes. I'll be bringing mine in cash, Mitch. Bring yours however you want. And since you're not a puppet, don't bring no white people with you then. That's a $5 million bet individually. You can take it all, or you can take it part and parcel. This is the new movement. Hey, and tell them plastic cup boys, we make enough money to drink out of real glassware.
I'm sorry, y'all, but he funny without really trying to be. He be so serious, but he be funny while being so serious. So I wanted to show you this. Because I like to follow patterns, and this man has been very consistent. He has been very consistent. This was like, I want to say 7 years ago. This was 7 years ago, but no one was really paying him any attention. And I'm going to get into why no one was paying attention to him, partially because the media was trying to paint him out to be crazy and on drugs. But another reason is because we are in the new age of Aquarius. The glamour, and I'm going to say it, the glamour magic that has been placed on us through celebrity culture, through entertainment television, which we look at a black screen, and if you watch the series on Netflix called Black Mirror, you will deeply understand where I'm getting at with this, right? So the glamour magic is wearing off these celebrities. And so you are now you're able to see Hollywood for what it really is. You're able to see these celebrities. You're able to see the darkness that their spirit carries. And the glamour of Hollywood, the glamour when it comes to these celebrities, that the spell that they put on us through our televisions, it's wearing off. And so we're now able to see past the spell work, the glamour spell work, because Hollywood, it's all about glamour, right? It's all about lights, cameras, actions. Well, that facade, it's crashing, it's burning. And so now we're able to see these celebrities, and it's crazy. If you notice, there's a pattern. The darkness, you see it on those that are in higher positions. And then the other celebrities like Taraji P. Henson, I saw a shift in her when she went to Bali. And when I went to her Instagram, the energy on her page was completely different. It was like she was going through some type of cleanse or something like that. And so is it shocking that she's now back, she's back acting, she's back working, and she just wants to live in her truth. She's freeing herself of all of these things. She's freeing herself of also playing into the illusion, the spell work, the glamour, the lights, the cameras, the act, all of that. She has completely cleansed herself. So now she doesn't want to hide. She doesn't want to play into that type of work. She actually just wants to be free, and she wants to continue to speak her truth. But that's going to come with some consequences, like being blackballed, like not being able to get certain opportunities, which is why she was talking about how she's thinking about quitting acting, which is not shocking, because when you choose your integrity, sometimes you have to change course within your career. When you choose integrity, sometimes you have to change course when it comes to your actions. When you choose integrity, sometimes you have to choose differently for yourself, and it may not be what you thought your life was going to be, because you're choosing integrity, you're standing on that. And so when you have to stand on that, the outlook, the outcome, it shifts. So it just looks differently. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be deep diving into that. So first, let's talk about the interview. Let's talk about the interview. This creator on TikTok did a wonderful job on giving you cliff notes of the full interview that was almost 3 hours long. And so I'm going to make sure I tag this content creator because, like I said, he did such a great job. So let's get into it.
I need to put Katt Williams in the best witness protection ever, because I know after this interview, they are coming for him. Shannon Sharp, you got to hide him in your muscle shirt or something. The way he Thanos half of Black Hollywood in about 3 hours was crazy. It was so well put. He's a very effective communicator. It was very fluent. I was impressed. And if you're calling this man bitter after this interview, you were not listening and you missed the whole point, because he was exposing lies and defending himself the whole time, which he deserves to do. Katt Williams had his kids' Foot Locker size 3 foot on Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, and Ricky Smiley's neck the whole interview. First of all, why am I just finding out that on the Steve Harvey show, Steve Harvey had a quick weave, a man unit? I thought this was his. I mean, now looking at the hair, it do look like a church microphone, but I thought this was really his hair. He said that Steve Harvey stole Mark Cooper's whole idea and made his sitcom The Steve Harvey Show. And now that I really think about it, hanging with Mr. Cooper and The Steve Harvey Show are so similar, it's crazy. He also said Steve Harvey never had a movie role because nobody ever asked for a country bumpkin black dude who can't talk properly and look like Mr. Potato Head.
You know what's crazy about this? You know what's crazy? And girl, we really gonna get into it. But you know what's crazy about this is that I never noticed the parallels between the show Mr. Cooper and the Steve Harvey Show. I never noticed it. But then when you mention it, it's like, damn, that is so true. They did have similar, it was a similar show, similar storyline, similar characters. It's very interesting. So they was just out here stealing other people's stuff. This whole time we thinking like, oh, they're so talented. Look at them. They're making a name for themselves off their talent. And come to find out they out here stealing. Crazy. And then not only are they stealing, but they're willing to compromise their integrity, right? Because they're stealing, and they're willing to compromise their integrity to climb up the ladder within this entertainment industry. Interesting.
Then Katt said it's about 30,000 new scripts that go out in Hollywood every year, and Steve Harvey has never been in a movie, and what does that mean? And when I think about it, Steve Harvey really has never been in a movie. Basically, he's saying Steve Harvey is not funny, and he's only good enough to read cue cards on Family Feud, and that's why he's on there, because everybody's just happy that he can read. He also said Steve was never homeless, and he lied about his come-up story. He was making $3,000 a show and had 5 shows a week. He said Steve Harvey be like, thanks to my wife, I'm where I'm at, and that's a lie, because you said that about the first and second wife that think like a man, and I was in tears.
Who remembers the first wife? Who remembers Steve Harvey's first wife? I talked about her years ago. I forget her name. And they called her crazy. They said that she was a gold digger. Y'all remember that? Let me show you Steve Harvey's first wife. I think this is his first wife. Hold on, let me switch gears here.
Marcia Harvey and Steve Harvey were married for 14 years. They dated for 1 year after getting together in 1979 and married in 1980. 14 years later, they divorced in 1994. They had 3 children. Mary Lee Shackelford and Steve Harvey were married for 9 years from June 1996. 9 years later, they divorced on December 2005. They had a son named Winto. Their divorce was a messy one and had Mary put in prison for some time. She was shaken to the core and resorted to attacking her ex-husband's reputation. It was full of accusations and counter-accusations. Many factors led to their breakup, the major one being infidelity on Steve's side. Marjorie Harvey and Steve Harvey have been married for 15 years. They were dating for 1 year after getting together in 2006 and were married on June 25, 2007. They have a daughter named Lori, adopted by Steve Harvey. Marcia Harvey and Steve Harvey were married for 14 years. They dated for 1 year after getting together in 1979 and married in 1980. 14 years later, they divorced in 1994. They had 3 children. Mary Lee Shackelford and Steve Harvey were married for 9 years from June 1996.
Okay, I feel like Marcia is the original first wife. Let me see if I can show you a picture because he has 3 wives. I think her name is Marcia. Mary is the second wife. So let me show you what the first wife. I'm trying to see if I can I think it's her right here. See, there's not that many photos. Here she is. This is what she looks like. Dang, I can't really. Okay, y'all get the picture. Okay, this is what she looks like. Right here. We don't see much about her though. Okay, yes, it's something with the M's. It is something with the M's, right? So I don't know what that's about. I don't know. But that was the first one. Okay. Let's continue though. Let's continue. But I'm shocked about the hair, y'all. I am. I'm really shocked about
Thing he ate up and spit out was Ricky Smiley. Ricky Smiley went on Shannon Sharp's show and said that he was originally supposed to be Money Mike next Friday and not Katt Williams. And Katt Williams came to set the record straight. He said he wrote the lines for Money Mike, he did the hair for Money Mike, and he helped collab with the wardrobe for him too. And I believe Katt because I can't see Ricky Smiley playing Money Mike. That don't even make no sense. That's Katt Williams all day. He said Ricky Smiley is only good at playing a woman like Tyler Perry, and I know Tyler Perry was at home with all his billions like, how did I get in this? He said they both couldn't play a man to save their life, and he said in his next contract, if Ricky Smiley was in the movie, he had to play a woman or he was not doing it. And the next movie was First Sunday, and guess what Ricky Smiley played? A woman. He also said in the original script, Money Mike got raped, and he fought against that, and I respect that so much. Katt said Ricky Smiley been playing the same old black woman forever, and he will never have a young fan base because that's all he can do. Then he started to eat up Cedric the Entertainer, saying why is he called the Entertainer and he can't sing, dance, or entertain. Katt said back in the late 90s, Cedric came to his show, listened to him perform, congratulated him, and then stole his joke and put it in his own show. And the only thing he changed was Katt used the car and Cedric turned his into a spaceship. And Katt...
Wait a minute now. Hold on. Wait. Because years before this story was told, there was someone else. I don't know who this man is, but he was explaining it on there's this video going viral on TikTok. Hold on, let me bring it up because I gotta bring up the receipts. We can't be mentioning things from the interview if we don't bring up the receipts. Let me see, where's it at? Here it is. 1 minute.
Katt Harvey from the theater, right?
Okay.
He like, I'm gonna kill that nigga Cedric. I said, why? He said, nigga, I'm at the theater right now, and the nigga is doing my job.
Oh.
I'm like, nigga, You bullshit. I said the joke when you in the car and the music's so loud that you can't hear the engine turn off. He said, nigga, yes. I said, Cat. He said, nigga, I'm going to the improv, my nigga. I'm going to kill that nigga. I said, Cat, listen to me. I said, listen careful. That's a blessing. I said, nigga, everybody gonna know who you is. That nigga Cedric finna put you on. He probably finna get you some money. Nigga, humble that, take that. It ain't like he stole it. It's like the nigga embracing you. Nigga, you pay homage. I said, nigga, you young, nigga, we finna be on. I looked at it from that point, right? Cat like, nigga, I'm glad you feel that way, nigga, because he's doing your shit too.
That ain't word.
I said, nigga, what are you doing? Nigga, he's pop locking as we speak.
Right.
I'm sorry, but that's funny. And that's how you know he ain't lying. That's how you know.
Cat called me.
That's how you know. Oh, yeah, we gonna bring the receipts, honey. I'm just like, let me wait. Shout out to X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. But I'm sorry, that story is even funnier now. It's funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get back to it. The
reason why he feels some type of way is because Cedric apologized to him about taking the joke with Steve right there and then went on this show with Shannon and said he didn't take the joke. And I feel like Shannon Sharp dropped the ball right here because you're supposed to have both of their segments pulled up so we can compare and contrast what they both sound like. And Katt had me in tears because he said Cedric the Entertainer came on Shannon Sharp's show looking like a walrus and then put his feet up and acted like one. He said Cedric does not write his material and he got 4 comedy specials and none of them are on Netflix or Tubi. Katt was really roasting all 3 of them like marshmallows at a campfire. Another thing is I've never seen Shannon Sharp so speechless. A lot of times Katt Williams had him shook. He really had nothing to say. He said every show that Cedric and Ricky Smiley has ever had has got canceled and they make an excuse for it every time. He said these 3 run as a group and the only way that you can be a part of their program is if you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife who don't talk in interviews, and I was deceased.
No shade, but okay, listen, this is how I really feel about it. Hold on, let me bring my girl up. For a sec, because here she is. Hold on.
Out of everybody that caught strays in Katt Williams' interview on Club Shay Shay, the weird-faced, light-skinned wives, like, we gotta send them some love. Like, all they do is collect they bag from they man. You know what I'm saying? Raise them kids, be on vacation, post their Instagram posts, and go about their day. They did not do nothing to deserve all them strays that they caught. Okay, they was the most innocent out of everybody, respectfully.
Yeah, that was messed up. Okay, but I mean, he didn't lie though. He did not lie. All right, but they not a part of this situation. Why? They was catching the strays for sure.
Why would he say that? Light-skinned, weird-faced wife is crazy. And the thing is, he not coming for them for no reason. He said he's coming to confront the lowbrow comedians who lied on him, and I'm not mad at it. And Katt was preaching. He said winners are not allowed to let losers rewrite history, and I said that is a word. He even low-key ate Shannon Sharp up. He said the truth don't need motivation. He said I'm not fueled by alcohol. I only had a sip. You had more than me. He even ate up Faison Love. He said anybody that tell you different is a fat Faison liar, and I was in tears. He said Faison said getting a Netflix special was easy and he has 0 and Katt has 12. And then Katt said, are you going to take your shirt off in every movie? Is that the only thing they have for you in these scripts?
But why is he always naked though? I be noticing that, y'all. He always be butt naked. I don't know what movie it was, but it was like a couple's vacation or whatever like that. And he was butt naked on there a lot. He was butt naked. And we always would see almost, I don't know how many scenes it was, but throughout the movie, there was like a few scenes where we would see like the crack of his ass. So what movie is that though? I think it was like a couple's retreat. They was on vacation. I don't know what movie that was, but I had Blue Crush. Is it Blue Crush? I don't know, but we always see the crack of his ass or we see his belly. It's true. So couples retreat. Yeah. And so when he said that, I'm instantly thinking back to that movie that I watched, and I'm like, yeah, like we kept seeing his beard, and it's like we don't want to see that. He always naked though. That is so true.
Williams also said he was whatever in Friday, which is why he wasn't in Friday After Next or next Friday. And Shannon Sharp could not take it no more. He was like, Katt, let Faison love breathing. Katt was quiet for 10 seconds and then said, you have an unnatural allegiance to losers, and that's not like you. Katt Williams said there will probably never be another Friday because John Witherspoon's death is still not quantified. And then he said Chris Tucker is not the same Chris Tucker. He said that's Chris Tucker on Epstein Island. He said they tried to set Chris Tucker up to be Smokey, somebody who smoked weed, but he was a Christian and best friends with Michael Jackson, who called him Christmas. Like, everybody was catching strays. That Christmas had me in tears. He said Kevin Hart is an industry plant who they lied about selling out shows and getting standing ovations. He said Kevin's whole fan base was on the East Coast. That's where he built his comedy at. So how did he go to the West Coast and sell out shows out of nowhere?
Pause. Okay, let's pause that. Okay, because he's saying that this man, Kevin Hart, is an industry plant, right? And one thing that really stuck out to me in this entire interview is that Black men in entertainment, they go through a humiliation ritual, and it involves the dress. Let's talk about that. So they are performing humiliation rituals in front of our faces, and they're calling it television. They're calling it entertainment. Did you pick that up? Because, girl, I picked that up. I said, excuse me? Excuse me? So let's switch gears here. Excuse me? Excuse me? Did I hear that correctly? Do I need to clean out my ears? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can't just brush over that. Okay? And Katt Williams, he keeps saying the dress, the dress. He just says the dress, the dress, the dress, the dress. And I'm like, what? So wait a minute. Okay, so here I'm on Twitter. Is it no? Is it here? Where is it at? Oh, here it is. Oh my gosh. Here it is. Wait a minute. Look at all the Black men in entertainment. Okay, here it is. Okay, so let's talk about this dress. All right. And if you did not catch, Kevin Hart, he was in there. I didn't even know he wore a dress. But let me go down. Is it right here? Here it is.
Renee is doing the Dougie.
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, you know, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is that something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. You know, for me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged. So, you know, I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on the talk show this morning.
You look good doing it.
Not that that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. At the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
No, you know what? I was actually one of those comedians that said, no, I wouldn't wear a dress. There's no way I would wear a dress. And then when proposed with the opportunity of what I felt was funny, I thought, oh, that's funny, I'm gonna do it. Oh, Kwanzaa is relevant. Yeah, that's funny. She's small. I can do the whole thing. It'll be funny. I think now, knowing about the opportunities that can be thrown at you, it's all about choice. Nobody makes you do anything. Nobody says this is what you got to do. This is the only way that you're going to do it. Nobody made Martin put on the dress in Big Mama's house. Nobody made Tyler Perry put on the dress as Medea. Nobody made Jamie Foxx put on the dress as Wanda, and nobody made Martin do it as Shanae. It was a choice. And on Saturday Night Live, it was a choice that I made. So I think it's all about your pick of what's funny to you and what you feel will be funny to others. And I will say that's the knowledge that I now have and understand. But from the outside looking in, you always go, oh, I ain't gonna do it. Ain't no way. Why? Why I gotta do it? I ain't gonna compromise myself. For what? I am who I am. But then you're in a movie, and then it calls for a funny scene. Hey, what if you went in this way? If it was actually funny, it's funny. So at the end of the day, I think funny is funny. You can't put rules and regulations.
The Pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Kevin Wallace.
Wow. I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
That's a mess. That is a mess. Yes, I had to come with the receipts. Okay. So, Puff, thank you for your super chats. See, let's talk about the humiliation ritual, right? People talked about it, but it was always seen as a conspiracy theory. It was never seen as true because we were under that glamour magic that I was talking about earlier. Lights, camera, action, Hollywood, celebrities, they make all of this money. They live this glamorous lifestyle. Okay, so now that all of that is dying, right? This is not a conspiracy theory. This is true. So how many other conspiracy theories what other theories out here are true? I have that question because they always call the conspiracy theories crazy. And this is one that is true. Oh, there's some others that are true, but I'm saying like it's true. We have the receipts here. You know what I mean? Come on now. Because they've been saying that, oh, it's just a conspiracy theory. It's not true. It's just that's crazy talk. Okay, but now it's in 2024. It's being shown to us that it is true. Okay. Yes, Kevin Hart sold out. A lot of these people that we're talking about sold out. They sold their soul. They sold their soul. How did that happen? Well, it came down to them choosing to stay and remain true to themselves or sell out for a bag. They sold out for a bag. Even us influencers, YouTubers, same thing with us. I could easily sell out for a bag. Easily. I'm not afraid to say it. I've left money on the table. It's easy for us to sell out for a bag. It is not hard. Especially when you're attractive. It's not hard to sell out for a bag. It's just not. Okay? You have to walk away from money. You have to walk away from money when you're broke. Okay? You have to leave money on the table and you're broke. There was a point in my own blogging career. I got 3 credit cards maxed out. They're in collections. I'm getting an offer to sell my soul. I said, no, that's not the type of blogger that I am. I'm like, no, I'm not about to sell myself out. And I'm leaving money on the table while being broke and needing the money because collections is on my ass. Every time the collection, they calling me, I'm like, listen, I don't speak it. I don't eat. Oh, do you Spanish? I don't speak it. Or I would answer the phone. This is Katie. Kate, who is Kiana? I have no idea who it, you know what I mean? But there are people out here that they will sell their soul. They don't have integrity. They don't even have integrity when they broke. You get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm out here dodging collections. I'm out here dodging selling my soul, and your girl was just broke. And I'm just like, listen, I guess it just that ain't it. That ain't it. That is not it, honey. That ain't it. So yes, a girl collections was knocking on my door. She don't live here. I don't know. She moved 2 years ago. You got the wrong address. I'm being summoned. They talking about, oh, you need to show up to court. You get what I'm saying? And people coming with you with offers, and you got to decline them. There are people out here that don't know how to do that. They will sell their soul for some money, quick. All right. And it wasn't that long ago. Probably like 3 or 4 years ago. No, I say 4 or 5 years ago. But yeah, you be surprised. You'd be surprised. All right. I'm out here dodging collections. I mean, they are on my ass. Do you hear me? They are on me. They are on my ass. And I'm just running. All right. But there are some people that will sell their soul. And I feel like Kevin Hart, I mean, it kind of explains it. It explains it because even this scene, I think this was it Hollywood, real Husbands of Hollywood or something like that? Wasn't this on like BET? Let me blow it up.
Never's gonna happen to your little ass. Show you. Never's gonna happen to your little ass. Show you. Never's gonna happen to your little ass. Show you. Never's gonna happen to your little ass. Show you. Never's gonna happen to your little ass. Show you. Never's gonna happen to your little ass. Show you. Never's gonna happen to your little ass.
Katt Williams also talked about in this interview how the character that he played, Mike, in Friday After Next, I believe, yeah, Friday After Next. And he talks about how in that character, in that storyline, there was a scene where he was supposed to be Ard. And he was like, oh, I can't play that role. This is supposed to be a comedy special. It's supposed to be a classic comedy movie. There's nothing funny about the R word. And he's saying, like, this is supposed to be a classic comedy. Is there any way that we can change this part in his character or this part within the storyline? And they were able to accommodate him. And they made those changes. He had to talk with production. He had to talk with the writers. He had to talk with producers. He had to talk to everybody and say, hey, there's nothing funny about this. This is supposed to be a classic comedy movie. So he had to demonstrate integrity while being in those positions of opportunity. And there's not a lot of people that know how to do that. They feel like, oh, opportunities are limited. Opportunities come every blue moon. But he spoke up and he said, there's nothing funny about that. This is supposed to be a comedy. We're not doing that. Like, we can change that. So it's interesting. Please notice it's also mainly dark-skinned men doing this to portray dark-skinned women. Yes. I agree. That's a great point. Thank you, Jamie, for that. That is such a great point. And that definitely has an effect on Black women because, we get ridiculed a lot for not being feminine enough. But when you have men constantly wearing dresses, it makes it harder for us to be seen as feminine when you have men that are dressing up as women, right? Especially in entertainment, especially in the media. And that's being continuously shown consistently, that is now bleeding into our image and how we are being portrayed to people outside of our culture. But we just get scapegoated as Black women. So we are just the ones to blame. So they emasculate the black man and they emasculate the black woman. This is why I don't worship. I don't put these celebrities on a pedestal at all. They are for themselves, and they have always been for themselves. Also, Anthony Anderson. He's another one. He wasn't mentioned in this situation, but I don't know what movie this was. But there was a scene where it was an intimate scene between the two of them. They shared an intimate scene, and it was just very weird. Okay, so let me go ahead and exit out of that. I'm not, wait, let me see what this is about.
Fortunately, I got a plan.
Oh, thank God. Oh, that's good.
You're gonna learn how to suck dick.
What?
Oh, God. I said, I want you to learn how to suck dick.
I heard you. That's your plan?
Yes. All I'm saying is that when life puts a dick in your mouth, you make dick aid.
Dick aid doesn't sound like a significant improvement over dick.
Okay? Bottom line, James, I know what I'm talking about. We're talking about survival.
I understand. Because that's how you survived.
No, you shut your mouth. No, it is not. I survive with these.
Dual hand jobs.
No. I kill with these. That's the difference between me and you. Hence, why you need to suck a dick. Fortunately, I got a plan.
You know, there's a lot to unpack with this scene right here because Katt was saying that that's the play in Hollywood where, as a man, might I add, you get more money when you do that, and they put it in the script. This is crazy. This entire time, I've seen men all up and down my timeline, especially in the red pill community, where they talk about how, oh, women fuck their way to the top. Well, it's sounding like men suck their way to the top. That's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like the men out here sucking their way up to the top. That's what it sounded like. I said what I said. It sounded like they sucking their way all the way up to the top. So, Kevin, is that what you were out here doing? I have some questions. I do. I have some questions. Were you sucking your way up to the top to get in the position that you're in right now? Interesting. I got questions about that. Oh no, we not gonna let that slide. Excuse me. So y'all out here sucking your way up to the top. My God. Okay. So then let's go back. So Katt Williams again was talking about, black men in the industry. He called them all out, having colorist issues. Let's go back to that for a sec because I forgot this was on Twitter X as well. Let's go.
Ever done it? Remember I told you, if you sign up for their program, you get a light skin, weird face wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people.
I have a question though, Katt. Now, is this part of the ritual? They can't get a dark-skinned sister. They have to get a light-skinned sister. And then when they get the light-skinned sister, they have to dress up as a woman. Is that what you're telling me? Is this part of the ritual as well? I have so many questions. Because it would make a lot of sense. It would make a lot of sense to Black women who constantly question, like, damn, they can't find a sister to save their life. My God. Not one? So is it a part of the ritual? Because let's go back here. Let's go back. You got to pay attention to what this man said. He said, when you pick their program,
if you sign up for their program, you get a light skin, weird face wife that never do an interview.
Is that a requirement? Is that something that they're putting in their contracts when they sell their soul? I have questions. I do. I have questions. Is that to whitewash the Black community? I have so many questions.
That's part of what you get. Now, one person ended up with a light-skinned, ugly-faced wife that's never done it. Remember I told you that if I say that, it applied to 7 people?
Yes.
It's part of what they give you. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that...
Okay. Now, Brandon T. Jackson, let's get back to the dress. We got to get back to the dress. Brandon T. Jackson spoke about this, I want to say 2 years ago. It was maybe 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Let me pull it up.
Yeah. Did you get like slack when you wore the dress at that moment?
It was like, wasn't slack from people. Only Katt Williams. Katt Williams was trying to always say, Brandon, don't wear a dress. You know,
he called you, or is this?
No, he was saying it in the media, so I thought he was heckling me. He was really trying to help me at the time. I didn't know that. I was immature.
Right.
I feel like, dang, why I'm trying to make it. Why you bashing me? And then he was trying to warn me, you know, don't get in the dress. So the awakened Brandon, you couldn't pay him $1 trillion to get in the dress.
Yeah. Was there like, how did they present that? Well, you knew right away you had to get in the dress.
I did the scene on lottery ticket.
Okay.
That scene on lottery ticket. After that, they were pushing his dress on me. It was something about that scene that touched a lot of people, and I think I was too real. I think they did the same thing like to Tupac. When you too real, they start looking at you like, hold on, how'd this slip past us? Who's this guy? You know what I mean? And then it's like, you know what? Yeah, he might be a kid. Just put him in the dress.
What do you think the dress is about? Is it to tone us down, to tone that realness down?
I think the dress, personally, is a thing that is not in our culture to do. And I think everybody will want to put their culture on us. No, not to hate your culture or your God.
Mm-hmm.
If your God say you can put on a dress and your culture is normal for you, that you have the right as a human to choose that. But me, for my God and my culture, my ancient culture, we didn't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was cursed by it. I believe it was a curse that went with that personally, because nothing went right since then. That's truthful. No one can tell me, hey, man, you thinking too much, man. Sit down, man. Everything went wrong. Just like everything went right. Everything went wrong when I put on that dress. I'm telling you, I lived it.
Yeah. Is there any like...
Thank you for that super chat. That is such a great point. Thank you for that super chat. Also, one thing that I want to mention here for a sec, Arlene, thank you for your Cash App. Emma, thank you for your Cash App. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. I just wanted to shout you out really quick. Okay, let's get back to it.
Even Martin, things went wrong when he did it too, because Martin is very anointed. Martin is a very strong man. And Dave Chappelle said that too. He says things about that too. And something, if you look at Martin's Arsenio Hall interviews, you look at him now, something's changed. You know?
Yeah, well, Martin, I noticed that too.
It's not a shot, but something's changed.
No, he definitely had like a lot of fire behind a lot of energy. He's got
similar to me.
He's gotten older, but I don't think he's gotten that old.
Eddie Murphy's old. He still has a fire to him too. I don't think it's an age thing. Yeah. I mean, my dad has a fire. He's almost.
You think maybe it was more of the business that kind of it took so much out of him?
Honestly, I think it's a spiritual thing, but everyone has their own journey. Mm-hmm. I can't say what it is. I don't know. I think, for me, I can only speak for my journey. Once I put the dress on and I had that fire was put out.
Yeah.
And I only did it one time. So imagine doing it 3 times, 4 times. But then Tyler Perry did it. He got stronger. I don't know the rules. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened to me. I'm not here to knock another brother because that's their path.
Yeah.
That's one thing I don't do is knock my brothers because that's their path. But
So basically what he's saying is he was placed in this position to be an influence for the collective. And when he went against his own moral compass, when he went against his own principles, he realized that he was now cursed. But really, it wasn't that he was cursed. It was that when he sold his soul and he put on that dress, he was knocked off path. When you're knocked off path, you lose your favor. The favor that got you in that position is now gone. So he's thinking, oh, everything's going bad. Everything's going bad. What happened? What happened? No, you went against what you were sent here for. It's part of your destiny. You went against that. And so now that you went against that, you have completely knocked yourself off your path. And now you're no longer aligned with what you came here to do. And now everything around you is karmic. You're experiencing karma. You reap what you sow. That's exactly what happens. I don't need someone telling me and watching me over my shoulder the difference between right and wrong. I know the difference between right and wrong. I don't need someone telling me what it is. I know what it is. And I know if I go out here and I start doing some bullshit, I got to deal with the consequences. And then not only that, I'm off path. I'm not aligned. I'm messing up. My favor that I have over my life, where people say, oh, she's so lucky. She's so lucky. I will lose it just like that. Because when you are placed in a position to be an influence for the collective, you can't just be out here doing what everybody else is out here doing. You can't be of the world. You can't. You have to live a different life. You have to move a different type of way. You can't be out here moving like how everybody else moves. And you don't need somebody over your shoulder watching. You don't, because you know that your favor will be lost if you step out of your integrity, if you step out of your principle, if you step out of your morals. You know your favor is lost, which is why you don't do that shit. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. I don't need nobody watching me. I don't need my parents watching me. I don't need social media watching me. I don't need any of that, because I know that if I do that shit, the consequences that come with it. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So that's what he's talking about from a spiritual standpoint. That's what he's getting at. And so once he put on that dress, he went against everything. He lost his favor. He lost his favor. So you have to be careful with that. You cannot be out here selling your integrity. People think I come online and just say that, oh, because I'm trying to appear a certain way. Girl, it's way deeper than that. I'm sorry. It's way deeper than appearances. It's about the soul, sis. It's always been about the soul. It's always been about the soul. And it will forever be about the soul. So like I said, I don't need nobody watching me. I already know. It's deeper than appearances. And a lot of these celebrities, they about to see that. They about to see how it's always been deeper than appearances. It's always been deeper than lights, camera, action. It's always been bigger than followers and money. Your soul is something that you always want to carry with you. When you don't have that, you are nothing. You are just a shell. That's it. That's it. That's all you are, is a shell of what? Nothing. When you don't have your soul. So you got to be careful about that. Oh, mocking black women. Ooh. That's a mess. Okay, let's go back. Let's continue though. But that's what he's talking about from a spiritual standpoint.
See, on my path, when I put on a dress, it came with a demon baby mama and a starter kit for hell. That's what happened to me. You haven't seen me since, to be honest. But then I feel stronger though.
Would you like warn other stand-up comedians about a dress?
Yeah, I had an interview too where I would do it. I would do it eloquently and say I wouldn't wear the dress if you're chosen. You know, some people can wear the dress; it doesn't affect them. But you know, I don't know. For me, it didn't work. So I can say I wouldn't advise anybody to do it. Just who wants to roll that dice?
Yeah, and as you look back on it now, you kind of would never.
If I had a time machine, you know, when we was with Marty McFly, I would go back, you know, and punch myself in the chest.
You mentioned
this whole situation, everything that's being exposed, it's a lesson. It's a lesson, because I said the paradigms, they're shifting, right? So that means the people who have had their integrity are now going to be pushed forward. You're going to be pushed in a leadership position. So don't make the same mistakes that they made, because you see how it worked for them. It didn't work. You see how it played out for them. It didn't play out well. It didn't play out well. So when you start making more money, when you start getting that car, when you start getting in positions of power, don't lose yourself. Don't do that. Don't compromise your integrity, because you see what it gets you, right? It's not worth it, right? Pay attention to what they're saying, because I'm telling you, that's the lesson in all of this. It's not worth it. Okay, I want to say that's everything that's on Twitter. It's not worth it. It will never be worth it. Oh yeah, it's a Hollywood thing. That is so true. That is so true. That is so true. That is so true. And shout out to all the crazies around the world. You know, you were called crazy. You were called a conspiracy theorist. And you are being vindicated right now. You are, for standing on what you believe, even though everyone was maybe calling you homophobic, calling you, I don't know, just not hit with the times, because you was out here standing on your morals and your principles. You know, they tend to do that a lot with you. So shout out to you. Okay, let's get back to him breaking down this interview that was 3 hours long, because he did
all these years that him and Kevin Hart never been in the same room on purpose. He also said a lot of the scripts that Kevin Hart get comes across his desk first, but he doesn't want to do the fetch and sketch that be in the script, so they give it to Kevin Hart. He said Earthquake is not a movie.
Hold on, before he get into Earthquake. Now, when I said that the number one thing that I loved about this interview was that Katt Williams was holding Black men accountable, I would like to see this for Black women, because they have taken our image and they have hypersexualized us. They have hypersexualized us. One thing that I noticed, I think this week, was with Sexy Red. She's another one. Her persona is not real. It's fake as hell. And the reason, how did I come across, or how did I come to this conclusion? Well, I was watching a video of her interacting with her child, and just how her child was responding to her, just how her child respected her. It made me view her differently. And I'm like, wait a minute. This persona that you portray to all of these young girls, these young, innocent, impressionable girls, let me show you what I'm talking about. It's not real. It's fake. So Dana, the TikToker, was right. She is an industry plant, right? But y'all was sitting up here calling her crazy and hateful and spiteful and nasty. Let me go to TikTok.
Man, and this ain't cute, but the real question is, what are we gonna do about it? It takes artists to make the music, it takes fans to support the music, and it takes adults to figure out what they're gonna expose their kids to, right? So first off, as fans, you got to make sure you're not supporting this and you're not promoting this type of music. Matter of fact, you need to be vocal about the fact that you're opposed to this if you really have a problem with it. As artists, we just got to decide when we want to stop being manipulated, man, and letting them use us as pawns. Where they pay us, they give us some fame, but they allow us to aid in the destruction and the brainwashing of our own people.
First thing, let me say this. Shout out to D1, because every time I see you always speaking on topics that need to be, in the spotlight. But let me get into my message, because this was a good video, to speak on. My question is this. Let me enlighten. Do you think that the world is dark because of all the evil people? Do you think the world is dark because of all the unbelievers or people who are lukewarm? Because in the word of God, it says that the people of God are the salt of the earth. And if the salt loses its season, then guess what? it says it's good for nothing. The word of God also says that we are the light of the world. You listening? We are the light of the world. So what that means, we keep the light on. So if the world is getting darker, then what that means, the people of God is not keeping the light on. Hello, catch them diamonds. That's what that means. That means that we are becoming spiritually dead and lazy. See, what we want to happen is we want God to clean up all the evilness. See, when Jesus, listen, they had disciples, 12 disciples. They went around spreading the gospel. That's what we are in this time. We are disciples that go speak the gospel, that spread the light in the world, right? The salt of the earth. And if anything's getting darker, that's because the people of God, the light is becoming dim and dimmer because you are spiritually dying. That's what that means. See, what the enemy does, he will continue to keep you in a stronghold in your mind so that you're so tired that you don't want to do no work for God.
And I'm just going to stop her right there because I want to add this too. I want to add this too. You have on one hand people who want to be low vibrational, right? They're going to be low vibrational. There's nothing that you can do about it. That is just who they are. They didn't come here to enlighten themselves. Okay? Enlightenment is you stepping into your light. That's all it is. You stepping more into your higher self. That's all it is. So you enlighten yourself. There are some people who don't want to do that. They don't want to do the work because the work involves you facing your darkness that you don't want to face, the things about yourself that are not so pretty. There's people in the world that don't want to do that, right? And then there, on another hand, on the other side, there are people out here that are actively trying to dim the light of those that are not afraid to face themselves. They're not afraid to face their shadow side. They're not afraid to face the things that are not so pretty about themselves. So you have people out here that gossip about them. You have people out here that spread lies about them. You have people out here that say things like, oh, he or she is crazy. Oh, they're on drugs. They're an alcoholic. They don't know what they're talking about. They're dumb. They're stupid. It's time for you to step into your light and not be afraid of what people are going to say about it. Because there are people out here that are actively trying to intentionally dim your light. This is why social media is so negative. Have you noticed how negative social media is? Social media wasn't about attention. It wasn't. Social media was about community. It was about building community, coming together. What happened? It was not about attention. It wasn't attention seeking. I saw a video that went viral the other day of a family that was mocking a girl a child that was semi-overweight and gifted her, I guess, like some type of slimming tea and recorded her opening it up for views and likes. And then I guess before that, they went viral about how they pranked the wife and lied to her about how her mother died. Social media is disgusting. If I would have known that this is what social media was going to be, I would have never signed up for this shit. It's dark. It's evil. It's demonic. You have people online who stalk you. You have people online who hate watch you. You have people online who watch you in hopes that you fail, who watch you and say things like, oh, I see you. But really, they see their insecurities. They see their triggers that they don't want to address. And then they try to project that onto you as if that's who you really are. Social media is horrible, but it wasn't like this. When I got into the business, it wasn't about attention. It wasn't. It was about helping those that needed it. It was about sharing resources. It was about accountability. It was about spreading love, positivity, enlightenment. This, I don't know what this is, but I didn't sign up for it. So what she's saying is we have control over the darkness that we are experiencing on social media. And instead of us doing something about it, we're feeding more into it. So you have people online that get into the comment section and just say the most negative thing. Just say the most negative thing. Nothing to add value to the content that was posted. And it could be negative. It could be slightly negative, but you could put a positive spin on it. You could enlighten in the comment section, but there are people out here who don't want to do that. They would rather feed into the negativity, but then you sit up and you're like, oh, social media is so negative, but you're playing a part in it though. You're playing a part in it. Everyone is, from celebrities, influencers, consumers, people who just consume social media on a daily basis. Even the celebrities that are feeding us these negative images of Black people. We are all part of the problem. So if the darkness that you feel, if the world is so evil, look in the mirror. You can't look at anyone but yourself and those that you surround yourself around. So if you're tired of it, change. It always starts with you. It doesn't start with anyone else outside of you. It's not Instagram. It's not the Shade Room. It's not Hollywood Unlocked. It's not. It's you. It's you. It's that simple. It is that simple. That is the lesson. And if you did any type of introspection in 2023, you would know that in 2024, that it's you. And it's always been you. And it will always be you. And your life is never going to change until you realize that it's you. It's you. And it's been you this entire time. It's not everybody else. And you can keep blaming everybody else. And your life is just not going to change. It's just going to remain stuck. Stuck and stagnant.
He said he loved Martin Lawrence like a brother and that they were supposed to be a duo in the movie, but the movie ended up being Big Mama's House too, and he was not wearing a dress. He ate up Michael Blackson out of nowhere. He said most comedians don't get booed enough because that's why we got people like Michael Blackson who use a fake African accent when he really African. And I always wondered that. I'm like, ain't you already African? What is this fake voice that you use? He said he also told Michael Blackson to stop wearing them dirty dashikis and dress like the African king of comedy that he trying to be. Katt talked about the Wanda Smith thing where he ate her up on the radio. That's one of my favorite eat-ups. He said they was only supposed to talk about certain things, but she flipped the script and started talking about stuff that she was not supposed to talk about, and that's when they got into it. And what's crazy is Katt said he went easy on her, and he didn't go easy to me, so imagine him on difficult. Katt also got asked about the Tory and Meg situation and how he felt. He said it's only two options, so either it's you or the girl, and if you're not going to say it's her, then it's you. Katt said if Jonathan Majors is attracted...
Wait a minute, we not about to brush over that. We not. That's common sense what he just said. Wait a minute, let's go back. We not brushing over that. Because there are people still online, and I have to say people. It's not just men, it's people that are still online, and they not getting it. They not getting it because they don't want to. They would rather believe in a lie than believe in the truth. Because the truth is way more entertaining. But yet you wonder why celebrities are so entertaining, because they lie. You've been entertained by lies your entire life. From history to religion to just your daily routine. You have been lied to. You are entertained by lies. You live by lies. The laws that you live according to are lies. So of course, you would rather entertain a lie than the truth, even though the truth is common sense. Because if this man was innocent, he would have spoke his innocence. If this man was living in his truth, he would have got up there and spoke his truth, but he decided not to. So Katt was like, you know what? If the man didn't want to speak up and say, I didn't shoot her, then I'm going to assume you did. Because what man is putting his life on the line for something that he did not do? What man is not going to take the stand and plead his case by speaking his truth? Make it make sense. And people talk still saying, free Tory, free Tory, free Tory. Because that's entertaining to you.
I asked about the Tory and Meg situation and how he felt. He said it's only two options, so either it's you or the girl, and if you're not going to say it's her, then it's you. Katt said if Jonathan Majors is attractive, then all black people are attractive, because when did y'all start liking wide noses and Afrocentric features? And that's the truth. Because y'all been calling Jay-Z and anybody else with big noses and big ears ugly for years, and all of a sudden Jonathan Majors come out and y'all change y'all mind, y'all crazy. He also said P. Diddy liked to party, and if you don't tell him no, anybody else with big nose.
Another thing that I wanted to point out about this situation, and I talked about this a little bit, it was on my community tab, and of course, the men were in their feelings. I don't know why you in your feelings. I don't know why you in your feelings. Wait a minute, because I really do got time today. I know it's Friday. Happy Friday. But let's pull it up. Okay? Because we're not going to just skip over that either. He also said in this interview, hey, you saw that black woman come get his charge cut in half? Thank you, Megan Good. God bless you for coming to save that slave. If he had to be there by himself, he was getting all for guilty, 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 guilty. She came in there and it was just so beautiful. They had to knock half of it off. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. And you know what's crazy about it? There are men out here saying, she didn't help him. She didn't help him at all. I can tell you're not into public relations. I can tell you're not educated when it comes to public relations. That man would have been crucified if he walked in that courtroom alone with his Bible. The Bible wasn't going to save him then. The Bible wasn't going to save him. That's crazy. Reading scriptures while his ex is taking the stand against him. So no, she did help. She did help. She had that man's back. And I don't know why. I don't. Because when it comes to the efforts of black women, we're always scapegoated. We're always scapegoated. So I'll be happy when black women just stay the hell out of it. If he got his ass in it, he need to get his ass out. And if it wasn't with a black woman, then I guess he need to be calling on the snow bunnies then, because we're not helping him. We're not helping him. His grandmama told him he liked to wear these slave clothes. Oh, I know for sure. His grandmother told him. His sister, if he had one, told him. His auntie told him. Everybody told him. And you know what? He decided to do his own thing. So since he decided to do his own thing, he needs to see his way out on his own. Because I know the big Shirleys and the big mamas in his house, in his family, told him what it was, and he didn't believe them. So you know what happened? The charges that were brought up against him showed him how real it really was. And the black woman that decided to get involved could not save his ass. Not all of it. Not all of it. But he would have been facing real jail time, but she was able to just get him off with probation because she had his back. And yet black men are sitting up here fixing their lips like she didn't help them at all. They would have crucified that black man to the cross just like they did Jesus himself. Wake up. I'm sick of people. Like, y'all, I'm so sick of people. I'm so sick of people. They would have crucified him to the cross. But the black woman stepped in and was like, damn, let me help you out. Let me help you out. And so he was found not guilty of intentionally assaulting this woman. But if he would have been found intentional about assaulting this woman, he would have been doing jail time. It is what it is. So no, Megan Good did help him out. And she didn't have to do that. She didn't have to do that. And black women don't support it. We don't support the fact that she stepped in and helped this man. We don't. We don't support it at all. But that's what she decided to do. And it is what it is. It is what it is. But he got himself in that situation. He decided to be in a relationship with a woman that had a drinking problem and didn't think to himself, oh, maybe I shouldn't be with someone that's going to risk my career, my image, everything that I worked so hard for as a black man. Maybe I shouldn't be with somebody like that. Maybe I shouldn't be with someone that I got to sit down and hold accountable about how they carry themselves out in public. Be for real. A 30-something-year-old woman, you got to sit down and tell her how she needs to behave? Okay. Like I said, he got himself in that situation and he needed to see himself out.
Big ears ugly for years, and all of a sudden Jonathan Majors come out and y'all change y'all mind, y'all crazy. He also said P. Diddy liked to party, and if you don't tell him no, he gonna keep trying because he tried Katt and he said he got the receipts. I also really enjoyed what he said about Kanye. He said,
everybody can't be lying about P. Diddy. Everybody can't be lying about P. Diddy. You know what's interesting about this entire situation? You know what's interesting about this entire situation is the simple fact that all of these men that built these empires, they were always built on faulty foundations. Faulty foundations. It lacked integrity, it lacked morals and principles. So keep that in mind as a Black man, when you're out here building your empire brick by brick. It's slow, it's not fast because you're a Black man in America. Make sure when you're building your foundation that it's not on faulty foundations. It's not on faulty grounds where someone can easily come in and swipe the rug from underneath you because you have all of these skeletons in your closet. Keep that in mind. I hope you're learning from the mistakes of these men that are falling and their empires are crashing around them. Make sure you keep that in mind. Make sure you keep that in mind because that's something I'm writing down my damn self, and I'm a Black woman. I'm like, damn, because there's always going to be eyes on you. There's always going to be people poking to see what skeletons do you have in your closet, especially when you're Black. And I hate to say it, but sometimes it's going to come from your own people. They want to see you fall just as much as the white man because they hate the fact that you're so successful. They hate the fact that you're making this amount of money. So make sure the skeletons in your closet are just not there. Make sure. Let's talk about Kanye West because what he had to say about this, I was like, wow.
everybody say you got a mental illness, and when somebody got special needs, you grade them on the curve. You don't even really take them serious, so why does everybody take him serious? He basically said Black people created the monster. Y'all made him feel like he was God and let him call himself Jesus, and all of a sudden now y'all hate him for the complex.
Black women, I guess we can relate to that. We can relate to that, right? Because we called what? Black men kings, didn't we? Didn't we call them kings? And now we're upset that they walk around and they act like we're nothing to them. We're undeserving of them. We can relate to that. But another thing that I want to point out is the mental illness aspect. Right? He's came out, he's talked about his mental health issues, but yet we take him serious, but yet we judge him harshly, but yet we pick him apart when he's out here maybe spiraling because he didn't take his medication. But you can't force a person that struggles with mental illness to take their medication because they're mentally ill, which was what Kim Kardashian, his wife, complained about, which was why she divorced him. Yeah, as a preference, she said, I can't take this. I can't deal with this. So I'm going to divorce this Black man because he's not making my life easy because he has a mental illness. Damn. Okay.
He also said he married a whore, and I was in tears. Katt also showed mad love to Bernie Mac and D.L. Hughley. He had nothing but respect for both of them.
Which was shocking to me. Oh, no, the preferences never stick around. That's why Jonathan Majors was going to be in that courtroom, but our sis, Megan Good, decided to step in and help the brother out because he was going to be in that courtroom by himself while that white woman was going to sit on that stand and cry, white woman tears. And she was going to nail him to the cross because she didn't give a damn about him at that point. But Megan Good stepped in and was like, you know what? I'm going to be there for this Black man. Yet there are men online saying, oh, she didn't do anything. She didn't help him. You wasn't going to win anything against those white tears. It was going to be guilty, 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 and guilty. In the history of white women tears, when have you ever been innocent? Never. Never. You've never been innocent when it comes to a white woman crying white tears. I'm sorry. Someone needs to tell you that. So it was going to be guilty, 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 and guilty. But Megan Good got him off by 2 charges. So it is what it is. But D.L. Hughley, interesting. Because I wasn't the biggest fan of him. But now I'm like, okay, maybe I need to check him out. Maybe I need to like tap in and see what he got going on, because he didn't throw him under the bus. He didn't throw Bernie Mac under the bus either. But I knew that when I watched the Bernie Mac show, you could just see the integrity in the show itself. You could see that he had values. You could see that he was a man of good character. Even in the show that he played, or the show that he created, in the character that he played in the Bernie Mac show. It was a good show. There was nothing but principles, morals, integrity, family values, and traditions. So I definitely was like, okay, let me check out D.L. Hughley. And then also he gave Bernie Mac his flowers, which he never got. He never got. But most people who keep their integrity intact, they don't ever get their flowers. They don't. They don't, because they're never pushed to the forefront.
He said the Kings of Comedy was hating on Bernie Mac because he was the funniest and they didn't want him to go last because Steve Harvey was last, but Bernie Mac was funnier than him. Katt also said he was supposed to be the 4th King of Comedy, but they did Bernie Mac wrong, so he was not about to take that place. But this interview was really good. He talked about his life, how he adopted 7 kids, how he left his house at 12 years old. It was a lot of great things in here. He also said Disney sent him a cease and desist because he tried to use the name Cat in the Hat, but Disney don't own Cat in the Hat, so maybe he meant DreamWorks. He also showed mad love to the new comedians like Desi Baines, Country Wayne, DC, Chico, Carlos, Jess Hilarious. He showed them mad love. And that's how I know he not bitter. He not mad at the new talent that's out there. He mad at the old people that's lying about history. He also talked about his childhood and how him and his dad clashed, and that's how he ended up homeless because he left the house. Katt also said he never did drugs unless it was weed or nicotine, so whatever everybody else is lying about is not true. The interview was good, y'all. It's really 2 hours and 46 minutes, so it's longer than The Color Purple, it's longer than Avatar, and almost as long as Titanic, so get ready if you gonna watch it. I also feel like Shannon Sharp could have dug in a little bit more with Katt's answers because some of his answers was frivolous. Katt said he was 8 years old reading 3,000 books. What books? Dr. Seuss, Junie B. Jones? Right. He even said he was reading in 7 different languages, and Shannon didn't ask what the languages were. We want to know those things too. But I kind of summarized everything. I missed a couple things, but I summarized the important stuff. So if you don't want to watch the whole 2 hour, 46 minute video, here you go right here. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Okay. I want to point out this super chat. Thank you for all the super chats. I want to point out this super chat. You don't ever have to sell your gift because it is your birthright. You don't have to sell your soul. It's your birthright. You don't have to do any of that. You don't. It's just, you don't get there fast. You don't. I've been in the YouTube space and people always say, oh, I don't understand. Like, why is Yoni not bigger? She should be bigger. She should be bigger. No, I shouldn't. Because for me to be bigger, I would have had to sell my soul. And I remember when I was a younger YouTuber first starting off, I was on the beauty side. I was on the fashion side. I was on that side. And I didn't like what I was seeing. I didn't like it. There was a lot of bullshit going on over there. First of all, you want me to sit here and sell women a product that I know is duplicated, but because it has a different name slapped on the front of it, you want me to resell that to my audience. That's bullshit. I'm not doing that. And then there were other situations where it was different clothing companies that wanted me to model their clothing, but I didn't like the lack of integrity that these companies had, like Fashion Nova, Pretty Little Things, all those popular Instagram shops and online clothing brands. I couldn't get with it. I just couldn't. And I had to ask myself, I'm like, damn, what kind of blogger do I want to be? Do I want to be the blogger that sells out for some free clothes? Do I want to be the type of blogger that sells out for a little bit of money? I said, no, I don't want to be that type of blogger. It doesn't make me feel good. I already had to work in corporate America where I sold credit cards, and I felt like I had to sell a piece of my soul just to be in corporate America and take home a check to feed myself, right? So I'm like, damn, if I'm stepping into this business as a blogger and this is something that I feel passionate about, I don't think I'm supposed to feel like I have to sell my soul just to make money. So I had to refrain from working with certain people. I also spoke out about the shit that I was seeing because I just wasn't with it. I wasn't. So what happened? They blackball you. Anytime that you speak out about some real shit, just know you're going to be blackballed. They don't want to work with you. You're supposed to gatekeep the secrets. You're supposed to gatekeep the inequality that they are demonstrating within their brand or within their business. But as a Black woman, you can't speak out about that. You're supposed to just take the little bit of crumbs that they give you and just be grateful that you got the opportunity. There's a reason why you don't see me promoting products and brands constantly on my platform, because I said to hell with them. If you're not going to pay me what I'm worth, then it's just not worth it. It's just not. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the time. It's not worth the sweat and tears that goes into all the work that goes into creating something to resell to people. It's just not worth it. You want to know what killed the natural hair community? It was the products. All the brands shoving it down people's faces. The natural hair community lost its integrity when it became brand and product obsessed. Because it used to be, oh, we're here doing this for the people. We're here doing it for Black women. We're here doing it to educate Black women on how to take care of their natural hair. But then somehow we got lost along the way and we made it about products. We made it about brands. Brands that weren't even paying us what we were worth. But we made it about that. We sold our soul, and then the natural hair community died. It died. It died. That's why you don't see any of these women talking about natural hair, because they fed into it. You have to understand, you have to stand on who you are at all times. You can't fold just because they want to pick you. You cannot. That's not why you were given the birthright. That's not why you were given the talent. You were given the talent to be a voice. You were given the talent to also be an advocate. You were given the talent to speak up for those that are voiceless. And if you did not follow through with that, it was never going to work. It was never going to work out. There was going to be a point in your path where it was just going to stop. It was going to die. It was always going to be like that. So that's why the natural hair community died. It's not because, this person or that person played into it. It really was because it just became all about products. It became all about what I can sell my audience and my followers. That's it. That's it. But a lot of these content creators, they have the power to come back and make it about what it was about. Hair texture. Educating Black women on their hair texture, educating Black women on different hairstyles, what's healthy, what's not. And it may involve you going into your kitchen and mixing some things that doesn't involve a brand slapping their name on the front of it. It may involve you putting some things in a blender and saying, you know what, this actually works better for your hair. Not this. Not the companies that put all of these secret ingredients in these products that are actually very harmful to us, not only to our hair, but our health. So it may involve you going back to the kitchen where it all started, making the shit yourself, and then teaching others, this is how you do it. This is actually a healthier alternative for you. So if they go back to that and they get back to that, the natural hair community will actually come back. Honestly. So that's really all I got. I think I want to talk about, let me see. So thank you for the super chats. Please. Like, I'm not doing it, y'all. Like the Morphe palettes, I was getting opportunities to do that. And I'm over here testing the palettes, right? And I'm testing colors. So I'm doing color swaps, right? And I'm just like, this is the same color from what is it, Jaclyn Hill's palette? I'm like, this is the same color from Jaclyn Hill's palette. Why the fuck would I sit up here and be like, yeah, you need to get this palette when you already have the palette? You literally have the same colors in the other palette that they just released. Why the hell would I tell you to go and that's stupid. That's dumb. If I would not do it, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And then I'm supposed to sit up here and record and be like, yeah, you need to get this palette, even though you low-key already got it. The same color is already in the palette. And then you wonder why Morphe, what happened? That's why. That's why. Because once it started to lose its integrity, that's when the brand lost its sauce. It died. Then all of a sudden you started seeing how they started closing stores. Then the next thing you know, you don't really even hear them talk about it. You never lose your integrity. Once you lose your integrity, you have nothing. You don't have anything at all. Okay, I think, is it this? Okay, wait. Okay, let me highlight this part because this was the best part. This is the best part.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Listen, leave them people behind. Leave them people behind. Somebody said Morphe is dry as fuck. Y'all, I got it on right now. I got it on my eyelids right now. But I think this is the original palette or the second original. I don't think this involved any of the this is me being honest with you. I don't think this involves any of the collaborations. But when they started getting into those collaborations and they was basically taking the standard Morphe palette and just slapping some influencer's name on the front, and I'm comparing the colors, and I'm like, girl, they the same damn thing. The hell, why would I come on here and be like, yeah, let me promote this palette just because this influencer slapped their name on the front? Where's the originality? Girl, I can't do it. You got to get somebody else. And when you're talented, when you're really talented, you really don't have to sell your soul. You're talented. You're the talent. You go where you want to go. You don't have to sell your soul. Okay, let me, but see, it's the people that is not really talented where they feel like, I got to take this. I got to take this because I don't know what else I'm going to do. When you're really talented, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Okay. This part of the interview, let's just watch.
I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or who you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Katt Williams on here calling people out again. I told y'all before, the higher elites made the media make him look crazy because he didn't want to take their route. When you take a different route, they make you look crazy. Oh, you think I'm playing?
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them.
He decided to go another route, which was a different route than what they wanted him to go. So they painted a picture of him for us. But I told y'all, when they make somebody look crazy in the media, pay attention to what that person's saying. 9 times out of 10, they're telling truth. Now you got him on here exposing everybody.
Because the people want to know, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah,
because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
you would tell it.
No, somebody come to tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. that includes blessings for his people. That's why, do you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? Is to act like it didn't happen.
This man said the number one job for somebody in Hollywood who sold their soul is to act like they didn't sell their soul. Woo!
You know what's crazy though is I used to be so afraid of being canceled. I used to be. I'm like, oh, I don't feel like I can do this. I don't feel like I can say this. Da, 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 da. But then I was like, you know, if I'm keeping my intentions in the right place, God gonna take care of me. I don't gotta worry about that. Just like devils, like the devil, demons, whatever, the dark side. Just like the dark side pays, the light side pays as well. But see, the light side, it comes with a level of protection that I don't feel like the dark side really comes with. So I stopped being afraid as a content creator to speak my truth and be more authentic, because I'm like, damn, God been taking care of me for a while. I mean, even when I was out here dodging, you know, the credit card companies, they was summoning me and they was knocking on my door. He took care of me then. So he's going to continue to take care of me now. So I'm going to do with my integrity what I feel is right. I'm going to speak in a way that I feel is morally right. I don't have to worry about that type of stuff. I don't. If you give the devil power over your life, he will have power over your life. And if you don't give the devil or the dark side, the demonic entities, whatever you believe in, right? If you don't give them power over your life, they will not have power over your life. So you will surrender, right? And then you will free yourself just like that. And it's a mental shift. It's just this thing in your mind that just shifts, and then you instantly surrender, and then you instantly free yourself. And then you have released yourself of burdens and worry. And it's just like that. And some will say, oh, that sounds so simple. But no, it's not, because we live in a world that will try to instill fear in you. Right? Like you need this. You have to have this. You can't live without this. They're constantly doing it to you every day. And social media has really heightened that for a lot of people. But if you really believe in the power of believing, then you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. You don't. And then people will start calling you lucky. People will think that you're lucky. And I'm going to get into what Katt Williams had to say about, you know, just believing, having faith, and how that manifests, and how it really does transform your life into what you actually desire. We're going to get into that as well.
You got many people out here losing their souls for temporary pleasure, losing their souls for money, temporary money that will not go with them when they leave this earth. Mark 8:36 says, "For what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul?" Here's the real question. Why would people have to act like they didn't sell their soul when they go into Hollywood? So that more people could follow them into Hollywood. You don't think that there's back rooms? You don't think that there's hidden secret agendas? You don't think that these people do things with you? Do things so that they can take authority over your spirit? You don't think that the enemy is smart? You better think again. No, you can't sell your soul, but you sure can lose it chasing something that's not God.
It's crazy. It's crazy. He preaching. Let me move on to the next one. Let me move on to the next one. Okay, hold on. This is what shook me. And what Katt did was he confirmed our suspicions. He confirmed the things that we had questions about, that we didn't have anyone that was in those spaces that would actually speak out about. And then the ones that did speak out, they were always seen as crazy. They were always painted out to be crazy, you know? And so it's like now we're at a point as a collective where, no, we want to know the truth because we know that there's more to what we're seeing. So this man also broke it down as well. This was crazy.
You know, this Katt Williams interview is making a lot of things make a lot of sense to me, because I always felt like Steve Harvey was a liar. He had the first set of veneers. So you already know he on some fakery. But that Steve Hightower box cut was always too fucking perfect to me. The only time I ever seen a hairline that perfect that I never questioned was Jalen Rose. But watch this video real quick and then we gonna come back.
The dude that when I had hair, when I had that world famous lining with that box cut, when I was Steve Hightower, Kings of Comedy, when I had that hair, the dude that cut my hair, I met him in 1986. He cut my hair for $10. I remembered him. When I got on TV, I hired him. I was getting my hair cut 4 times a week for television and touring. I paid him $1,500 each time. He was making $6,000 a week.
Now, when I first saw this video, I was like, why would you pay somebody $1,500? Maybe now $150 for a lineup, it do make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you get money, shit like that. $1,500 per haircut, 4 times a week, 6 bands a week, $24,000 a month, never made sense to me.
Wait, I gotta pause them though. You see how they don't want you to think for yourself? When you start to think for yourself, you become a problem. You really do. You become a problem. You become a problem. When you start to think for yourself, you're no longer a part of the program. And they want you to be a part of the program. And when you take yourself out of the program, they cannot control you. That's what this is all about. So when you start to think too much for yourself, you start to think in a way that involves critical thinking, then all of a sudden you have completely taken yourself out of the program that is being forced onto you. Television, right? So you're sitting here, you're listening to this, and you're just going along with it because it's just TV, right? What's the big deal?
Haircut every other day. But for a wig install every other day, for a man unit every other day, especially when you on set underneath them bright lights, you on set $1,200-$1,500 a day, getting a wig installed every other day does make sense to me. You gonna sweat that out. Yeah, you melting that glue. But it just, this is the thing about this Hollywood shit. It's just like these people is lying. And then I'm seeing people say, oh, he hating on Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart called this man a drug addict. Also, he could vouch for Tiffany Haddish, who's never been funny. Honestly, for somebody like me that loves comedy, I never understood how certain people made it. Interview makes everything make sense. So, if anything, the reason why a lot of people are resonating and saying we need to protect Katt is because a lot of things about Hollywood has been said and done. A lot of people who have made it, a lot of people who have gotten the spotlight over others have never made sense to us. But Katt Williams just put all the pieces of the puzzle together for us and gave us confirmation that we're not crazy. We can see through bullshit too. It's just that they keep telling us bullshit so often, we don't have no choice but to think it's the truth.
They lie about everything. I'm just gonna tell you right now. They lie about everything. I don't believe nothing they say. I don't, which is why I don't watch the news. I get notifications on my phone so I can keep up with what's going on around me. But outside of keeping up with what's going on around me, I don't sit up and just watch the news. I get on my parents about that. Stop sitting up there watching the lies, watching the manipulation, watching the gaslighting. Like, stop sitting up there watching that. Stop feeding into it. Stop allowing your mind to believe the things that they are telling you. Like, the other day, I was on Instagram, I think it was Fox News. They had a psychic on there with a bad wig giving a tarot reading. And I was like, this shows me everything that I need to know on Fox News. And I knew Fox News was weird, but they just confirmed it for me. I'm like, really? Really? So I tell my parents all the time, stop watching that. Stop watching the news. Just keep up with what's going on around you. But just know you're keeping up with the lies. You're not keeping up with the truth, but you need to keep up with the lies. Okay? That's really all it's about. Is it this one? Hold on, let me go back. You have to, because you got to know what's going on around you. That's it.
If it's anything I took from this interview, it was this. This was gold right here.
I done already told you I'm one of the richest people that ever lived. Yes. Only in the fact that when I wake up in the morning, no matter where I am, I don't need nothing.
That's good.
Whatever I need is right around me, and whatever I don't have, it's only just because I don't have it. It's not because I can't get it. All I gotta do is want it, and it belongs to me. So because of that, because I'm favored by God, like when I see people's wives and stuff, I don't even look at them. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to look at nothing I don't want to have.
What?
Because I know how blessed I am. If I look at it, I got it.
That man knows something. I don't even look at things I don't want, because if I look at it, I'll have it. That's how favored I am by God. Be careful what you're looking at.
Y'all, if you haven't seen the full interview, you need to go watch it. This interview was everything. This interview was everything. When I tell you, I was on the phone calling everybody I know. I'm like, have you seen it? Did you watch it? What do you think? That was me, because I wanted to know.
I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. If you sign up for their program, you get a light skin.
Okay, hold on. I think we already did that one. Okay, I think this is it. Just want to make sure I showed y'all all the videos. I think I already played that one too. Is this it?
I need to put Katt Williams in the best witness.
Oh no, okay. No, we're good. I think we're done. And for the ladies, you know who I think is gonna spill it for us, because it's not just black men. It's really not. I think Taraji P. Henson is gonna be the one. I think she gonna be the one. I think she gonna be the one that exposes it all. The Virgos. Y'all doing all right? Like, how y'all feeling out here? I know the Virgos are like, girl, I feel good, girl. I feel real good, because the Virgos, y'all are on. Like, what's going on? What's going on with the Virgos? Because I think Taraji P. Henson and Katt Williams, I think they're both Virgos. So I saw this on Instagram. She recently spoke out about how within the entertainment industry, she opens up about having to advocate for her The Color Purple co-stars, reveals cast was giving rental cars to drive themselves to set. This is insurance liability. It's dangerous. So she goes on to say, they gave us rental cars, and I was like, I can't drive myself to set in Atlanta. This is insurance liability. It's dangerous. Now they robbing people. What do I look like taking myself to work by myself in a rental car? So I was like, I can't. I get a driver. Can I get a driver or security to take me? ? I'm not asking for the moon. They're like, well, if we do it for you, we got to do it for everybody. Well, do it for everybody. It's stuff like that. Stuff I shouldn't have to fight for. I was on the set of Empire fighting for trailers that wasn't infested with bugs. Cassie's a Virgo? Shut up. I did not know that. Wow. Hold on. Let me put that back up. Okay, wait a minute. You're telling me you walk the red carpet, you're on TV, and you are dealing with a trailer or trailers that are infested with bugs? Y'all, wait a minute. Ice Cube just spoke out. Wait a minute. Because I get a lot of flack, y'all. First of all, I got flack when I first started my YouTube channel because people was calling me weird for talking to myself in my room when I would record videos for y'all, okay? I would get made fun of by friends and family. Ain't shit funny today. There's nothing funny today. But back then, a lot of things were funny to people when you were doing something that you loved. And at the time, it was seen as weird to others, strange to others. You're in your room and you're talking to yourself. Okay. But listen, one thing about it, I never had to deal with an infested room when I was in there recording, talking to myself. I never had to deal with that. I didn't have to deal with that. And then people also give me a hard time today, like, oh, she's in her echo chamber. My echo chamber is not infested with bugs. It's not. It's insured as well. So this is what I be talking about. People fall into the hype and the perception of things. That's it. That's all they care about. So a lot of these celebrities are out here walking the red carpet, being seen this way and this way, but y'all really out here dealing with roaches in your trailers? Crazy. Crazy. That's interesting. That's interesting. So I'm saying all of this to say, just do you. Stop trying to do what everybody else is doing. They're going to call you weird. They're going to think what you're doing is stupid. But then if people catch on to the wave, then all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, I love you. Oh my God, I know her. Now people are saying, I know her. I don't know you. I think when we met, you was making fun of me, right? You was mocking me, right? You was talking shit, right? I haven't forgot. I hate when people do that. They want to catch on the wave, and then all of a sudden they want to be like, oh, I always thought what she did was so cool. No, you didn't. You thought it was corny. So continue to think that it's corny. You don't know me. I can't stand that. And have you noticed with this whole color purple, promotional tour that they're doing for the color purple, have you noticed that Oprah got some dark ass energy? She got the same dark ass energy that P. Diddy got. She got the same dark ass energy around her that TD Jakes got. They got like this darkness that follows them. It's in their eyes, it's in their aura. It's just dark. It's just really dark. And I can no longer just dismiss it. And my own father was like, oh, you can't get on your platform and say that. I said, why not? I see it. I see the darkness that she carries. I see it in her eyes and I see it in her aura and I can't unsee it. And then the energy exchange between Oprah and Taraji P. Henson on this entire promotional tour was very loud. She felt uncomfortable. She felt very uncomfortable. So I don't know what that's about, but just hearing her speak out about what she's been experiencing while filming The Color Purple, and Oprah was the one that was supposed to be in charge, a Black woman in leadership, and you have Black women that are co-stars, Black talents, Black women who are talents and creatives coming to you under your leadership to remake this movie that it really didn't need to be remade. It really didn't, but you're deciding to do that, and you're telling me that you couldn't help them out with getting rentals? I'm confused. Wasn't she on her show giving her audience cars? You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Okay, so why are they having a hard time coming to your set to remake The Color Purple and they can't get a rental? They can't get security? They can't get a driver? What's that about, Oprah? I got questions too for you. I got questions for a lot of these people that portray themselves to have these perfect images. I do. And it's crazy because Oprah is as thin as she's ever been. She's as thin as I've ever seen. But something about her is just so dark. I don't know what it is. It's like I can't unsee it. I can't. I cannot unsee it. And Oprah has always rubbed elbows with some questionable people. She has. I don't get it. I don't know. But I just can't dismiss it. I can't. Let me see if I can find the video of Oprah. Here it is, right here. It just looked weird. I don't know what it was, but the energy was just very weird. And I'm like, what is going on? And I never looked at Oprah like this. It wasn't until recently, honestly.
I just want to know, what did Oprah do to Taraji? Like, check this out. Look how she walk up, right? They all walking up. Look at it. Okay, look. They don't greet each other. Taraji looking over here in space, just so she don't have to make eye contact with Oprah. Oprah doesn't turn to the side and say anything to her. Okay, I can't remember her name. I think her name is Danielle. This other actress, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie on her, but I love her. Here come Fantasia. And look, she right there by Taraji, right? Right. And look what she do. Look what she do. Scoot them down and get at the end. Now, where y'all know Oprah to want to miss up on being in the middle in a photo? Where you know her to not want to be in the middle of a photo, y'all? So yeah, I'm believing those rumors that they got a beef going on. Maybe Oprah want to try to give Taraji them coins. I don't know what's going on, y'all. Leave y'all opinions and thoughts below that. Child, I just want to know, what did Oprah do to Taraji? Like, check this out. Look.
Y'all, I can't unsee it. I said what I said, and I guess we just gonna have to figure it out eventually, because the truth gonna come out eventually. But this video rubbed me the wrong way. And even when Taraji P. Henson spoke out on her Instagram defending Oprah, it just seemed forced. That's what it seemed like. It just seemed forced, that she was forced to clear up her speaking her truth. Because she went on an interview, in an interview where she just spoke her truth. And all of a sudden we get this long-winded caption, and she had to apologize. So I don't know. Well, not really apologize, but basically like low-key take back what she originally said. So I don't know. I don't know. Something about Oprah I'm not feeling. I'm just not feeling it. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. But I don't have any receipts. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. But yeah, that's crazy that Black women are going through that. It's crazy. They always said if you made it on TV, you basically made it. But it's sounding like even if you make it on TV, you walk the red carpet, it doesn't mean anything. And it just goes back to what I was saying originally, that when like everyone is fighting to be rich. Everyone is fighting to have all of this money. And it's not going to save you. Money is not going to save you. It's not. Peace, finding inner peace is what's going to save you. And really, it's just going to save you from yourself and the world that we live in. That's it. And if you listen to certain people that find peace and happiness, they typically don't care about money, materialistic things, or any of that. They don't care about the worldly things. They care about the inner things. They care about how they found peace and happiness within themselves. And honestly, one thing that I learned about the system, and if you notice, they recently changed the tax brackets, right? When you file your taxes, if you made this certain amount of money, this is what you're basically going to be paying into taxes, right? So something in me told it I think this was like a year or so ago, I realized that, damn, I'm over here wanting to make more money, but really I'm in a rat race where if I make more money, I have to pay more money. I have to spend more money. So does it ever stop? Does it ever end? Because I've been broke and I know what that's like, being broke and in the rat race, you're just trying to make it. But even when you make it, right, and you have all of this money, you're still not out of the rat race. You're still chasing. You're still trying to get more money, right? Your bills are bigger. Your responsibilities are more demanding. Yet I'm still not free from this system that requires me to chase, to constantly chase. So I said, you know what? I'm not chasing. I'm done. I'm taking myself out the game. Get somebody else to do it. It's not going to be me. Get someone else to do it. Get someone else to do it. Your bills just get bigger. That's it. And you're still in this rat race. You wonder why these celebrities keep saying things like, oh, I was still broke. Or Gabrielle Union, oh, I have this monkey on my back. Yeah, you damn right she does, because she has to now pay a mortgage on $1 million home. That's not cheap. What do you think the monthly payment is on that mortgage? What do you think the insurance is on that mortgage? What do you think the property taxes are on that mortgage? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the image. It's not. It's not worth the status. They really want you to feed into this image, this image, this perception, and it's a facade. These people are not even happy. I mean, I can understand if they was happy, but you telling me they not happy? They over here thinking about quitting their own passions, questioning their own passions and the talents that were given to them at birth. So what am I doing? Chasing an illusion that is not real. That's it. So I have completely taken myself out of the game. Get somebody else to do it. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know if you saw the recent changes that were made to the tax ladder. There was a recent change made to the tax ladder. I don't know if you saw it, but they did a whole breakdown of your gross income and how much you take home and then how much you will be expected to pay in taxes. I don't know if you've seen it. So it's just crazy, y'all. The chase, it never stops. And even the people that are celebrities, we used to look up to them. We used to look to them like, oh, I just need to make it. I need to make it. And then I'll be taken out of this rat race that feels like slavery. But the reality is they're just on a different level. And they're still in the rat race. And they're still playing this game. And they're not happy. So just so you know. That's all I have regarding this video. I'm logging out. Yes, this video was 2 hours long. But yeah, your bills just get bigger. So I don't know. I'm not chasing nothing. I'm not chasing anything. If it doesn't come to me, it's not meant for me. And that's how I'm living my life until the day that I die. I'm not chasing. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. They've been trying. And it is crazy how they program you from a young age when you're in high school. No, when you're in grade school, they program you from a young age to chase. They do. And then they say you just have to make it. And then you don't have to chase anymore. But that was a lie too. You will always have to chase, especially when you're trying to chase status and image and money. You will die chasing. You will be buried in the ground and you will never live a life where you're truly at peace and happy and with what you have and just be in like contentment, just having contentment within yourself. You will never have that because you are programmed to chase until the day that you die. And in the process, you're making those that are truly in control richer. That's it. That's it. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, your evening. I do want to come. I don't know if I'm going to come back on here today or tomorrow, but I wanted to talk about the girl that went viral because she asked her followers about her situation where, let me see if I can show you really quick, about working 3 jobs while having a man.
For people in a relationship, me and my boyfriend always get in a fight over money, bro. Okay, mind you, I'm not broke. Like I'm not broke. I am broke right now. You know what I'm saying? But I make good money is what I'm trying to say. And all my money goes into my bills. It's just after all my money goes into my bills, I usually have nothing left. So I picked up 3 jobs, right? But my boyfriend didn't like that I was working the 3 jobs because he felt like I wasn't around my kid as much, which doesn't make any sense. But anyways, nevertheless, also, I had to quit a 3rd job because getting a sitter was becoming a little bit difficult because everybody started working in the evenings. So anyways, me and him always get an argument over cash. And mind you, I'm only ever asking him for cash on my off days. Like if I'm paid, I'm good, right? On my off days, though, I do be asking him for cash. And I'm not talking about like hundreds of dollars. I'm talking about 10, 20, maybe 50. And majority of the time it's to be put back into the house, right? Or it's to be put to good use. Like I'm not asking him to get my hair done. I'm not asking him to get my nails done. He doesn't even get any of that stuff done for me. Like he does none of that for me. Like if he does something for me, I have to ask for it. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't feel like that's right. And I get mad because every time I ask him for money, he wants to explode or have some type of reaction that just triggers me. And I just want to know, like, do you females ask your man for money and how is that transaction? Like, is it a fight? Is it normal to ask your man for money? Like, how much money does he give you? You know what I'm saying? Does he treat you to get your hair and nails done? Like, my man literally does nothing but keep his money to himself. Like, and it's annoying, and he's very Mr. Krabs, and I don't like that. And I don't know if that makes me sound shallow or whatever the case may be, but no, I want to marry a provider, and I feel like providers, you know, will help out. And also, he doesn't like to talk about his finances, bro. How are we supposed to be getting married in the future if you can't even have a simple conversation about finances with me? It's always turning into I'm being money hungry. But it's like, I'm realistic, bro. We need to know our budget. How much are we able to spend? Am I wrong?
We're going to have to come back and talk about that. I may come back on here and talk about this at 6. Okay. Girl, I'm going to just have y'all come back. Okay. Y'all enjoy the rest of the next few hours, and then I'm going to come back at like maybe 6 o'clock. Okay. We're going to talk about it because my God, my goodness. Okay. All right, I'm going to end the live. Give the video a thumbs up, and I hope to catch you in my next one.